The following is a presentation of the Mat Talk Podcast Network.
You've always got time for short time.
Hey, it's Mario Lopez.
David Taylor.
Brent Metcalf. Johnny Hendricks. Tony Ramos. Bubba J.
Mike Golick.
Matthew Modine. The one and only Chael Sonnen. And you are listening to the one and only Short Time Wrestling Podcast by the often imitated and never duplicated Jason Bryant.
All right, here in the belly of the beast, so to speak, in the Olympic Wrestling Center in Athens, Greece, we've finished up the Cadet World Championships. I'm taking the microphone on a trip. Let's find some members of Team USA to talk about this second-place performance. 4 world champions. So they did get more than the Russians, which did win the team championship. I'm rolling through back here looking for Andy Hamilton and crew as he's tracking down people for interviews. I'm going to see if I can type into those. If that's an acceptable term to say, I probably isn't. I probably don't even understand a reference. But so we're going back through here, walking. Hey, there's Troy Nickerson. We're going to stop and say hi for a second, Troy. That was nice, wasn't it?
Yeah, he's a stud.
I mean, hey, 4 golds?
We'll take 4 golds. We'll take it.
And rolling through. Oh, here's KJ. We're going to walk with KJ. Andy's going to do the more formal interview here. But quick impressions, 4 gold medals.
4 gold medals. I can't remember the last time that's happened for Team USA. The guys really wrestled well tonight.
Wrestle here, right? Wrestle here?
Wrestle here, man.
How about the problems that we're going to have in the upper weights with guys like Kirk Vliet and Gable Steveson?
It's a good problem to have, right? It's a good problem to have.
We'll talk more to KJ after Andy gets done with them later. So we're doing a tour. Still hanging around as we're doing a live stream of consciousness thing. And we can still hear the rumbling here. We're gonna walk with Lee Pritz for a second. Shooter, what'd you think, man?
I thought these guys battled hard all weekend, and it ends up 4 golds, 2 bronze. What's that? Every medal match we were in, we won, right? Yes. Something like that. And somebody got up on Twitter. It's like, hey, did they not watch the footage on Flow? Don't shoot on Ja'Cory Teamer. Man, he's so good in there. He's a great scrambler, and when he lets loose like that, he's so good. He was a little tight this tournament, but when he lets loose, man, is he good. Look at it from a college perspective for a minute. The type of athletes that are coming through now at the cadet level, what are they doing now as cadets that maybe 10 years ago when, we didn't have the Cadet Worlds 10 years ago. We had them at one time, took them away. How much do you think that this tournament and the USA Wrestling push for these age group tournaments is going to help college wrestling and, of course, our Olympic levels? Well, if you look how fast these kids are developing technically, you saw some of the technique this weekend. It's so high level, they're doing stuff where I'm like, do you see McHenry? Half the stuff he hit, I'm like, that's unbelievable stuff he's hitting out there. And just the direction changes and the chain wrestling you're seeing these guys doing, I just think it's going to help college wrestling as well when these guys get to that next level. Well, look what's happening at Penn State. Not to keep pumping them up, but you got to give credit where credit's due, and they have a high level of wrestling going on right there, and it's starting with these young guys. We're seeing guys 16, 17 years old. Of course, you mentioned McHenry there. You're going to throw out little props for your old boy Rob Eider there for having a little hand in that? Absolutely. Eider's an unbelievable technician. But there's a lot of people that touch him. I think Zeke said it best when he said it takes a village to build a champion, and when I heard him say that, that really hit home with me. And I was like, because all these guys have so many people that touch them at some point that impact them. They have their mainstay, but there's a lot of people that impact these guys, and it's pretty cool to be part of this and to watch it. I think we're going to drift out and watch a medal ceremony here. We get we get to hear the anthem here again. Yes, sir. It's one of the as we're walking and talking with Lee Pritz. Quick impressions on what it's like to be on a staff like this. Well, you're around great kids, great coaches. The experience and the opportunity has been just tremendous, and I want to thank Kevin Jackson for obviously helping me or getting me out here, and it's been an unbelievable experience. We need some euros here. Overall, we're
just to give you guys a background, we're in the back tunnel where the athletes come out. The only reason I'm talking to Shooter continually is because all the other coaches are about to dig up the kids to get the team award. Second place is as a team finish. The chance to win the team title and sweep juniors, cadets, and seniors. I mean, look at it from a United States perspective. This is a good time to be a U.S. wrestling fan, isn't it?
It's unbelievable. You know, we were talking about it before the tournament happened. We said, you know, this is something that if it happens, it'll be talked about for 25 years. You know, and again, the guys competed hard. You know, all the way from the Decaters. You know, wrestling 2-time finalist and a world champ, in first round his hometown, and loses just a hard-fought battle. You know. But he scrapped, man. He scrapped. All these guys were just scrapping, and even you know, you check out Skinner goes out in his first match and shell shocked and didn't know where he was. So he was out there just shell shocked. And he comes back and he battles and puts himself in the bronze medal match, you know, and dang near won that thing. So I mean, it's just up and down the lineup. I think everybody contributed some way, shape, or form, and just really proud of the team.
All right, Shooter, here comes the best part of an international wrestling tournament. Are you ready for it?
I'm ready.
Folks at home are going to have to wait for it. Wait for it. You're getting the live stream of consciousness here. Please rise for the national anthem of the United States of America. Gotta love that, Shooter.
Oh, does that not give you goosebumps every time? It's unbelievable. How about this? How about Greg? My man comes out there and texts his way through the tournament and then scraps for his life right there. And that was... Look at Brooks. Brooks didn't make the team. That's how fast he's improving. He didn't make the team and comes out and smashes everyone. He brought his own American flag.
I'm sure his dad told him, says, "Hey, throw that in the bag just in case." I don't even. What did you think it was a just in case?
No, he had a plan. He came in and he let us know very quickly that, you know, he's here for a reason.
Thanks, Shooter. I'm going to drift. I'm going to catch some other coaches, and great job. We'll see you on the college mats. All right, now I'm keeping rolling. Now I'm going to put a microphone in front of Sean Bormat here for a minute, as Lee Pritz took up a lot of the last half hour of my day. Second place, chances for the team to win a title were there, but overall, 4 golds. That's not a performance you can be displeased about.
No, super proud of the way these guys competed. They scored a lot of points, put on a good show, and we won a lot of big matches, bringing home a lot of medals.
What's this say for the developmental systems? Obviously, we got a junior world championship, we got a senior world championship. The cadets were just right there. Looking at it from a guy who's done a lot of these tours, a lot of these trips, and coached a lot of different age groups, future's bright here.
Yeah, future's extremely bright. These young kids are really dialed into the international styles, much younger age, great coaching, a lot of depth in our pipeline. It's going to be an exciting future for all these young age groups and our senior age group.
What do you think the biggest teaching point was for the athletes here that are on this trip? Some of them for the first time, making an international tour.
I think once our guys realized how good our offense is and how great our conditioning is and our mental toughness, that there was no reason to hold back and wait to see what the foreign opponents were going to do. Just bring our offense to them, bring a lot of heat to them, and they started to see these guys wilt and fold in those matches. Then it just gave everybody more momentum and more confidence that they could go out and do the same thing every match.
Coach Pritz had said, repeated the old saying that it takes a village to raise a child. When you look at the dynamics of the staff here, not just the coaching staff, but the support staff, you got the doctors, the trainers, everything that goes into it. What was it about this staff that was the most enjoyable for you?
Well, I enjoy, all the guys I work with. New guys I've been on trips with before. I mean, everybody's ready to pick up and do whatever it takes. I mean, we had a great team doc, great team leader. Chad was here as a trainer again. Good coaching staff, some of the greatest coaches in our country, and everybody. I mean, we got guys carrying waters down the street, rubbing these guys down in between matches, helping them get down to weight, guys running out getting food, whatever it took, everybody's ready to jump in, to make sure these guys can realize the dreams they have when they're here.
What are some things that you tried to tell these guys from your experiences on tours as an athlete and a coach that some of the first-timers maybe really needed a little bit more advice?
The biggest thing is for them, really just getting them focused on everything that we can control. There's a lot of things, schedule changes, buses are late, optimal, it's not optimal warm-up conditions based on what we're used to in the United States, crowded mats, guys everywhere, and just not to let any of those little things distract them or waste energy worrying about that stuff, and just to focus on their wrestling, focus on their offense, focus on their pace and their tempo, and getting their hand raised, and that was it.
One thing that I noticed from some of the guys that come through the 4 champs was grit. We saw it with McHenry, you saw it with Lewan, you saw it with Kirk Vliet, you see it with Brooks, who wasn't, again, as Britt said, wasn't even supposed to be here today. A lot of grit with these champions.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And over the course of the 3 days, I mean, the attitude, you could see the attitude developing these guys. They wanted to beat these guys by points, and they wanted to beat them mentally. They weren't just satisfied winning, they wanted to beat them mentally. So they were setting hard paces and trying to get these guys to crack in those matches. They did a great job of it.
How hard is it to try to break somebody in a 4-minute match?
Yeah, well, the one thing I kept telling is, at their age, they're used to wrestling 6-minute matches. They said, so cram 6 minutes into 4 and see if they can keep up.
Sean Bourmet, thank you very much. Congratulations.
Thanks, Jason.
Still rolling through here in the tunnel. Going to see, we got the Americans are going to hit the team podium here in a bit. We're going to walk back around and kind of figure out where we're at. Gonna interrupt Kurt McHenry's conversation now, a 2-time Cadet World Champion. Got 2 states that are claiming you, Maryland and my home state of Virginia, your home state of Virginia. How's the second one feel compared to the first?
Better, much better. Tougher road, tougher competition. They were more prepared. Meaning when it's harder, it feels better when you win. More off my chest, kind of, so.
Couple situations yesterday that you're up and then all of a sudden you got to hang on there at the end. What goes through your mind in that situation where I'm used to winning this thing and these guys aren't backing down from you?
I knew they were going to come hard, so that really didn't surprise me, but when I'm in those positions and I'm down and the clock's ticking, I just got to make a decision whether I'm going to go or not, and that just comes down to grit and toughness at the end of the day. You make
a pretty wicked commute. Well, if you want to call it a commute, you're about an hour and a half from where you grew up, going to school at St. Paul's. Rob Eider's there. Corey Cooper was in the corner here. What does that sacrifice that you and your family make for you to wrestle, how does that help you improve, and what are kind of the things you have to balance with that?
I have to balance probably the amount of time I spend wrestling. That's what I would say, because I got to spend time with my family, I got to talk to my family, and then I have to be in Maryland. So it's something I got to mess around with, how much time I'm going to spend on the mat versus how much time I'm actually going to be home.
I was talking to Lee Pritz earlier, and he has a long relationship with Rob Eider. Rob was at full grown your size, and he was talking to me about when you guys work out, he says there's some stuff that you do that he's never seen before, and he can't keep up with you, even though he's kind of got that grizzled veteran strength. What does Rob bring to the table that's really helped you with your wrestling?
Senior level competition, kind of. He's ran the whole circuit. He's been to the Olympics, Worlds, World Cup, all that. And having someone that I can wrestle with every day that's had that experience is fantastic.
So which one do you like to claim, Maryland or Virginia?
Virginia, 2 up, 2 down all day.
I hear that, 2 up, 2 down. Hey, Kurt, congratulations. Thanks, man.
Thank you.
Now standing here with Jason Bobby, one of the officials. Ron Fazio walked away. Jason, you've done a lot of international events. You have to take yourself out of a rooting interest because you don't actually referee any American matches. But when you see a performance like this from our Villanova athletes and knowing that you're there watching them, you're not having anything to do with their victories. But what's it mean for you as an American to see this type of performance?
Oh, the sense of pride. is just overwhelming to see our athletes competing so high on the international level and just succeeding.
I think you're being summoned up all to the thing already. So walk and talk for a second. So overall, in terms of World Championship events, how does this rate in your experiences in terms of how you guys get treated and how you guys can be able to do your job effectively?
I think we're treated extremely well, and then just to be here as a team experiences this and we're able to witness it firsthand is just awesome.
Jason Bobby, short, sweet, and to the point.
Thanks, brother.
Now we're going to eavesdrop on Andy Hamilton, maybe. Taylor's going to take a photo of KJ first with the Iranian coaches. KJ's kind of a big deal. Now if we can get KJ over here for a minute. I'll let Andy lead the way on this one. I'm just eavesdropping.
I already started this one.
Oh, you already started this one? All right.
All right. Take 2 with Kevin Jackson. I don't know where we were at when we stopped. I think Aaron Brooks maybe. What kind of progress did you see from him from the trials until now?
Well, I just seen a lot of poise, focus. He had a plan. He stuck to the plan. He never got rattled. Just an incredible athlete, incredible technician, and he's a real smart kid. So, but what I was surprised with is on short notice he was in great shape and ready to go. So it just says a lot about staying ready.
When did you make the call to him, and what was his initial reaction?
I made the call on a Tuesday, and we had 3 more days left in camp. And we tried to get him out to Colorado Springs to attend the last camp, be with the guys, and kind of bond a little bit. But under that short notice, he just couldn't make it happen. Went up to Maryland, trained with Kerry McCoy and his team. And I think Kerry probably hit all the areas of concentration. But I think, again, he probably was in pretty good shape going into that camp. He was ready. I mean, he didn't get excited when I called him. He just kind of like, okay, coach, I'm ready. I'm ready. And he came here and he did a job.
In terms of your position here, coming off the Iowa State thing, now getting a shot back at USA Wrestling again and seeing the performance that the young kids, the juniors and the cadets have done, has this re-energized you?
Well, God is good. God is good. I told my junior team when we were at the World Championship, I said, God's got a plan for me. He's got a plan for all of our lives. And if I was still at Iowa State, I wouldn't have had an opportunity to experience the World Championships in Finland. I wouldn't have had the opportunity to experience the World Championships in Paris. And I wouldn't have had this opportunity to see 4 gold medalists crowned. So yeah, it's definitely re-energized me, and it's exciting.
How about the team building aspect? Because the cadet World Championships, they brought it back since 2011. You've seen a lot of focus USA Wrestling's putting into developmental age groups to feed the senior level. How good is this going to make the senior level performances like this and groups like this coming through with the cadets and juniors in 3 to 5 years?
Well, I mean, I think it's self-explanatory. I think it's self-evident. Cadet champions become senior world champions. Junior champions become senior world champions. It's proven. And so it definitely adds to our depth. I think we're already strong at the senior level. I think we have a young starting lineup right now with some guys that are under that. But then when you look at the juniors, they're chomping at the bit themselves. You look at the cadets, very soon they're going to be hitting that circuit as well. So our depth is real strong. I mean, we're on a strong upswing, and we just got to keep it rolling.
What's going on with the heavyweights in Minnesota?
I'll tell you what, there must be something in the water because they're good. They're good. They're tough. They love to compete. They're smart guys. They're technicians, and they're students of the sport. I just really love being around those guys because they expect to win and they compete to win. I don't think that was Greg's best match, but he brought the fight, and I think that's what won the match for him.
Hardest thing about him, saying his last name or figuring out which is his first name?
I can't even pronounce his last name. I don't even try. I call him Daniel or Greg because I can't even pronounce the last name.
Thanks, KJ. Congratulations.
This show is part of the Matt Talk Podcast Network. For more wrestling podcasts, head over to MattTalkOnline.com.